Alright folks, well I'm kind of set up and ready to launch, but there's just something I wanted to mention, probably to newbies, because I've made this mistake in the past and I've seen accidents happen, so just be aware of this. If you look along the bank here, you can see there's a lot of reeds, and these reeds are generally where these tie-off points seem to be, and there's a number of them along here. Once upon a time there'd be narrow boats that were that would stop here. That's a thing of the past, but again, every single tie-off point reeds, so basically they're as good as useless. So the only place that I can drop in is this section here, and I've got nowhere to tie my kayak to. So there's a couple of things that you can do. You could put a couple of pegs in the ground here, so drop your kayak in and tie them to some pegs. You can have a look at the front to see if there's anywhere you can tie off at the front, and there isn't. Or what you can do is be ultra careful, which is what I'm going to do today. Well, what an absolutely wonderful morning for a paddle. I've just stayed local today for a couple of reasons really. Firstly, when you get to be an old bugger like me, you have to go and have a booster COVID jab, which I had yesterday in one arm, and whilst I was there I had my flu jab in the other arm. And both arms, as anyone who's had them will know, this morning they're killing. And so I had my COVID booster. I felt a bit yucky actually, like flu-like symptoms. I felt a bit sick and yeah, not very good at all. So I woke up this morning not feeling too great, but I thought, well, you know, rather than sit indoors all day, let's come and get some fresh air, and hopefully, you know, I'll feel a bit better. Yeah, so the other reason why I've decided to just stay local on this river today is because my intention is to do an evening paddle. I'm probably going to do it on midnight, Halloween, and I'm going to just have a paddle on this river. Now, although I know this river quite well, changing season, things change. Already I've noticed some big differences from the last time I was on here, so it's just so I'm aware of what those differences are, because it's going to be freezing cold, we could be raining I suppose, so you know I need to be absolutely confident in the kit that I've got, the kayak that I use, and everything else that goes with it. So that's my main reason why I've had a little paddle today on this stretch of water. I think my plan's going to be is to sort of set off from Bishop's Bridge, maybe just before, you know, it starts getting dark, have a paddle to my destination and just set up a little kind of basic shelter, cook something to eat, and then at midnight paddle back to Bishop's Bridge. So, you know, unless it's, you know, blowing a hoolie and it really is terrible weather conditions, then I think that's going to be the plan. But obviously it does come with some risk and some danger, I suppose, and I'm aware of that, and that's the reason why I'm having a paddle today. Yeah, so kit wise for the midnight paddle is, I think I'm going to do it in my itty whip, my yellow itty whip, basically because it's got 3 chambers. It's got the floor, the drop stitch floor, and it's got 2 chambers that you inflate separately. So whilst I'd like to do it in the GoPro because it's much more comfortable, all we have is one single chamber. Now, if something catastrophic was to happen at night, I think, you know, it would be better if it happens in that itty whip. The chances of the floor puncturing on both sides is, well, you know, you would think, you know, very, very rare something like that to happen. So I think I'm going to do it in my itty whip, and I think I'm pretty much sorted with lighting. I've bought a new light to fit on top of my GoPro, so as I'm recording you can see me. I've got 2 head torches that are 2000 lumens, so I, you know, should have plenty of light. And I've also got a couple of torches that are 2000 lumens. I've also, I think I might put some fairy lights around the kayak as well. So the last thing I want to do is come out with one bloody torch and that packs up, and then I'm paddling in sort of pitch dark. Yeah, so as I've been paddling along this river, I'm just making 1 or 2 sort of notes on any restrictions and places of heavy weed. And I've got, I don't know if you can see on my, got my iWatch there that tells me where I am sort of in miles, and I just make a little note of it. Now, of course, all this could change by the end of the month, because what I think I'll do is the day before the night paddle, I think I'll just paddle this stretch again just to make sure that I'm happy with everything. But you know, these are sort of areas, especially in the itty whip, that can really clam up your skeg, you know, which I mean sort of paddling backwards and trying to release the skeg of all that rubbish. So, but as I say, by the end of the excuse me, by the end of the month this could all be gone anyway. But there's been a couple of areas like this that I've made notes of. But yeah, it's really rather quite sort of thick. I don't know whether the camera's really picking that up, and it stinks as well, badly. Well, just finishing my breakfast, and then I'm gonna have a paddle back towards Bishop's Bridge, chill out for half hour. It's a lovely morning. It's a bit nippy, cold wind, but I'm going to have the wind at my back on the way back, so it should make paddling a little bit easier. Well, I'm fed and watered and chilled out for a little while. This is an area that I could spend all day just sort of admiring the you know, the views and the wildlife. It really is a nice area. It's very rarely do you see anybody around here. Very private actually. So yes, well worth a visit, and I spend, you know, quite a lot of time up here actually. Well, I'm almost back to my starting point, and I just some of you may think, well, why would I want to do a midnight paddle on Halloween? Well, let's put it this way. Some time ago, some months ago actually, I was camping up at the lock just on my own, and I met one of the locals, a bit of an eccentric, I suppose you could call her, and we was having a chat, and I said that, you know, I'm camping there for the evening, and she said, be careful of the ghost that frequents the lock and the Ancholme. And you know, first and foremost, I don't believe in ghosts. I think it's a load of mumbo jumbo, but plenty of people do. And she went on to explain how, you know, on a quite regular basis she's seen this sort of ghost floating on across the water, and comes across as a bit of a bright light. So I thought, well, you know, whilst I don't believe in ghosts, I'm open-minded. Halloween is probably the best time to see a ghost. I don't know. So yeah, the plan is during the paddle is to have cameras rolling, and just to see if I can find this ghost that I've been told so much about. So I do know, you know, there is a story attached to this, and you know, when I do that paddle, I'll share the story as I was told it, of the Ancholme ghost. So I'm just gonna head back to Bishop's Bridge, park up, and make tracks home. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and until the next time, safe and happy paddling.